Welcome to Crafty Little Beach. This is Julie. Today I have a Dollar Tree DIY for you. I wanted to do a Hello Spring DIY, but I wanted to go with that soft pink theme. So I'm going to be using some of the Dollar Tree wood letters to spell out Hello Spring and a Dollar Tree wood sign. I think that's going to be perfect. So I just turned my letters upside down and put some painter's tape on the back, just a really easy way to kind of paint these and keep it together. Now I find with these packs from the Dollar Tree, I'm always running out of E's because you get one of every letter in there, and I must use a lot of E's. I wish you could just buy vowels, but what I'm going to do is turn an F and an L into an E, and it actually works out pretty well. So I'm going to go ahead and put hello there, add my F and my other part that's going to make our F and E, and we can spell out hello spring. I'm going to kind of tape down the end so these stay in place. And I'm going to leave like the sign like that natural color. We're going to be adding those pink flowers over there. So I thought white would be a nice contrast. And so I'm just using a white makeup sponge and some acrylic paint and painting these letters white. I love these wood letters from the Dollar Tree. They can be a little tricky to find, so whenever I find them, I try to stock up on them. But again, almost wish you could buy them with like consonants or vowels because I definitely do go through more vowels. I have a lot of consonants in my stash. Now, it did kind of soak the paint up a little bit, and I do want it to be a little bit brighter white, so I did go over mine with a second coat just to kind of make that white pop against the wood and the pink flowers we're going to be adding to the sign. So we can kind of set those aside, let those dry, and start working on this cute little sign. Isn't this so cute? It's already got some wood beads on the top. I'm going to kind of change that up a little bit, but I really like the wood slat sign. I think it's really pretty. It doesn't really have a frame or anything, so it's exactly what I was needing for this project. Now for the top, I'm just going to cut off the little tab, pull this out. I do want to use some wood beads on this, but maybe not this many, and I do want to add like a little bit of spring color to it as well. So I'm going to be using this soft pink color, and I use some of those little hot dog sticks from the Dollar Tree. They're nice and thick. You can pop the wood beads on there and they won't really spin around too much. And I'm just going to paint a total of 4 of them. I think that's going to be plenty to decorate the hanger of this sign. And this sign turned out so pretty. It was so easy to do. So again, I'm just going to do a total of 4. I think any more than that, it's going to be a little bit of overkill. I just wanted a little touch of pink up here to kind of match the pink flowers we're going to add to the sign. Now I do want to leave like the wood part wood, but I do want to add the pink flowers and kind of make it look like a floral background on it as well. And even though I really like the sign, they're not cut super well here in the ridges. So I just went in there with my finger sander and cleaned everything up and made it look really nice so that we could attach the stickers. And these are the little wall stickers from Dollar Tree. You get 6 to a package. It's this really nice, soft pink flower, and kind of trying to figure out how I want to set it up. I want them to kind of be peeking in from the corners, maybe 2 of them. So I'm just going to go ahead and peel the sticker. Be very careful when you're peeling these off. They do like to rip a little bit. And like this. And don't worry about having like more of a sticker because we can always cut this down to size. And I just make sure that there's nothing underneath of it. It goes down super flat and just stick this to it. The sticker was plenty strong. I didn't have to add any kind of adhesive or Mod Podge or anything like that to the top of it. And then I want another one of the flowers kind of coming down from the opposite corner. So I'm just going to kind of line that up how I think it's going to look pretty. And that's why, I'm going to have the floral background, but I'm also going to have a lot of that wood showing through like that. So I just smooth that one down as well. And then I can just go in with some scissors, give it a quick trim to clean that off. And then I can sand it to get it like an exact fit on there. But scissors works a little bit better here, at least on the initial run of the stickers. You can get it pretty close to the edges of your sign. And that's one reason I did it on this sign instead of one of the framed signs from Dollar Tree, is because I can go straight up here to the edge and it's easy to get a good finish back there. So again, I'm just going to sand the edges to take off any of the excess sticker to give me a perfect fit, and it just gives me a really beautiful soft pink flower background that we can do our little hello spring word on. I know spring's not here yet, but you know what? I know a lot of you guys are cold. It'll be here soon, I promise. It's been pretty nice here in Florida. I can't complain. It's going to be like 86 in a couple of days, but it kind of keeps going back and forth. Like it'll be hot and then it'll be cool. And it can't seem to make up its mind, but we only get a few cool days a year, so I can't complain. And definitely never cold, so that's good. Now I just cut in between the different slats so that I could use my finger sander to kind of push the sticker down in the crack to kind of give it that texture look that the rest of the sign has, and that gave it a really cool effect. I'm also going to scratch the sticker up slightly with the sandpaper to distress it to kind of give it more of an aged look and less like a perfect sticker. That looks perfect, exactly what I was wanting. So now we can go ahead and start adding our words. So I'm just going to peel these off. These should be good and dry now. And I can't forget like the remaining part of my E. I had to do that on a previous DIY and it worked out perfectly. So I guess I probably don't use F's near as much as I use E. So that's a quick fix. And I want to kind of do it like on these two inner rows, Hello Spring. It fits really nicely on there. And then the flowers can just be on the top and the bottom sections. So I'm just starting in the center here to glue these on. You can kind of use your lines for reference for how high or low you're putting your letter. And then I just kind of space these out, just kind of whatever looks good to me. The hello had a little bit more room than the spring. The spring is a little bit tighter. But the I think, in the spring is nice and small, so it allowed me to fit everything in there. So I just glued both my pieces of my E together, kind of like that. And I did have a small crack in that. I do go back and add a little spackle to that here to kind of fill that in so you can't notice that. It really makes it look like an E. Just a tiny bit is all it's going to take. And then I can always just sand that down just to fill it up because it wasn't perfect. And then we can do the same thing here with spring. Again, I'm going to kind of start on the letters in the middle a little bit to make sure everything is centered. And I have to go a little bit tighter, but everything fit perfectly well here too. Since I already have that floral background on there, I'm not really going to add any more flowers or anything to this. I think this just turned out really sweet. I think I'm going to be displaying the spring sign in my kitchen. And for now, it's definitely going to match my Valentine's Day tier tray that I did with this theme. But I love the fact that I can just leave it up for the entire spring. Just cleaning up, I want to make sure I don't have any hot glue. That hot glue gun I use does squirt out a lot of hot glue, so it can be a little bit too much sometimes. And then I just sanded down my spackle there as well. Now we're going to add the beads that we painted pink. I just wanted to do like 2 on each side. So I left one side of the hanger attached, and then I can just reattach the other side once we add the beads back to it. And I'm glad I decided to paint them. I think it added another little fun element to this DIY. I'm just going to go ahead and tie a knot here on the twine and use my staple gun to re-staple that on. Quick and easy, a little bit of pink there on each side. It did make my hanger a little bit shorter, but I think it's still plenty large enough. I just love how it turned out. It has such a fun spring vibe, and I bet that a lot of you guys are ready for spring. It's definitely one of my favorite spring DIYs that I've done on my channel, and I wanted to bring this one to you. I think it looks really pretty. What do you guys think? Those little flower stickers like that from the Dollar Tree, they have different varieties, can be really great for spring crafting.